Hello, greetings, and salutations. Welcome aboard my podcast. I am Jason with Jay's Paradise Travels. I'd like to thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience seeing the Cincinnati Reds. Going back only a few seasons ago when I got to see them. Before I get into the experience, though, I want to do a little housekeeping, get it out of the way. First off, if you'd like to go on vacation, specifically a cruise, which is my specialty, or perhaps you want to go see a game like I do. Maybe you would like to go see the Cincinnati Reds. You can reach out to me in a couple different ways, and I'd be happy to help you out. One way is through social media. I have both an Instagram and Facebook account for my business, and they're both the same name, Jay's Paradise Travels. It's Jays, there's no apostrophe in there. Jay's Paradise Travels. You can send me a message and we can get together that way. Or if you don't want to go through social media, you don't have to. You could also email me. My email address for my business is j.paradise_travels@gmail.com. It's jay.paradise_travels@gmail.com. You can email me as well. All right, that's out of the way. Let's talk about this experiencing the Cincinnati Reds. Again, it goes back a few seasons ago when I did this. And this was a game that when I went, I didn't go by myself. I actually had some friends with me, and it's always kind of nice when I'm able to travel with some friends. Where I live in Detroit, to go to Cincinnati, it can be done in a day, and that's what we did. I believe it was a Wednesday during the week type of game, an afternoon game. Drove down there, saw the game, came back. Me and my friends. There was four of us all together, so there was myself. I have two friends, both named Matt, and then another good friend. They're all good friends. Another one named Marcus. It was me and a bunch of guys that start with the letter M. Anyways, my friend Marcus was nice enough to be willing to drive down there. So I forgot what time we left, but it was in the morning because the game was like in the afternoon, 1 o'clock game, that type of thing. And again, Detroit to Cincinnati is not a very far drive. I want to say 3 to 4 hours, roughly, something to that effect, in order to get down there. And Cincinnati is like right at the southern border of Ohio, and I have gone through Cincinnati as we've driven south many times, and there's a bridge that connects Ohio with Kentucky. And as you pass it, you see the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium on the one side of it, and I've done that many times. But I could never see where the baseball stadium was, and I know it wasn't too far away. And sure enough, when we went down there, when we drove down there, we did pass the Cincinnati Bengals Stadium, which one day I'll have to go back and see. I still have yet to see the Bengals yet. But where the baseball stadium was is not very far from it. It's just pretty much right around the corner. So that's kind of nice. Again, one of those cities where, I mean, they don't have every major team. They've only got a couple, but at least the couple that they do have are in relatively close proximity to themselves. We drove down there and didn't park too far away. We ended up even passing by the Bengal Stadium as we're looking for parking. That was kind of cool to be able to see that. A stadium I've seen many times driving by. Got to see the bridge. Obviously, didn't have to go on it. We didn't have to go to Kentucky for this. But we were able to drive around, find parking, and not park too far away and walk over there. As we're walking over there, we're just with the crowd and on the streets, and at first when I get there, I see the Great American Ballpark sign, but just a little bit. But I was able to take a picture of that. And then as we continued walking, um, as the stadium got, I guess you could say, in more clear focus for me, a better vision for it, I was able to take a little bit more pictures of the outside. And it was on the one side, I guess you could say, where the Great American Ballpark sign that I initially saw, and that side, which I want to say was, I think that's like first baseline, that side. I was able to get a couple pictures of that area. Walked by, there was a Reds team shop. Didn't go in it, but I saw from the outside. Thought that was kind of cool. And then when we got closer towards where home plate was, then it kind of opened up, and it was a lot easier to be able to see um, the stadium a little bit more as a whole. Now, of course, with me, with my hobby, liking to take pictures, if I get a chance, sometimes we're running late to a game, or sometimes I don't get a chance to take too many. Even if I'm running late, I'm going to still try it. But depending on just the angles and where I'm at, I might not always get the best shots. I try my best. Other times I'll have a little bit more time. I can kind of go away. When I say go away, I mean go back a little bit further to be able to get it all in. So I was able to do that. And they had a nice little open area there where we eventually did go in. But in that open area, I was able to get a couple more pictures too. And I think they had some statues as well in addition to it. I don't think I got any of the statues, but my friends, I think they took a few pictures as well. That's it's not officially their hobby, but they were, along with me, so they were able to take some pictures too. And then from there, we went inside the game, and we didn't. I don't recall stopping anywhere to get anything to eat. Figured, I think we just figured we'd get something out of the ballpark. Um, so we kind of looked around a little bit. They had a bunch of ice cream there, which my friend Marcus loves ice cream. I love ice cream too, and there was some ice cream there. Obviously, you had your regular um, hot dog, hamburger, chicken tenders, that type of stuff for options as well. They had uh, team store in there. I didn't take any pictures inside though. I just remember seeing it. It was kind of a nice little atmosphere inside too. We found our seats. Our seats were on the third base line on the lower deck, so that was kind of nice. Just kind of us in the sun that day. It was an afternoon game, not really cloudy. I'm glad I put some sunscreen on, or else I would have been as red as the Cincinnati's team after the game. Uh, yeah. So we got there, and then after the game, once the game was over, we started walking back to the car, and one of my friends wanted to know if we wanted to go into one of the local restaurants that was really just right across the street. It was some historical place too that had been around a long time. I don't remember the name of it. I would love to give it a shout out by name, but I don't remember the name of the restaurant. And I want to say they like made their own beer there too, uh, which again, I can't think. It was a few years ago. Maybe if I Googled it, I could look it up, but that's all right. I'm not going to do that right now. But anyways, we got in there, and I remember having a soft pretzel with cheese, which I do like, and it was really good. It was like what do you call it, like a cheese, beer cheese or something like that. But that was pretty good. And I forgot what else my friends got, but we had food there before we drove back and headed home, and then we just headed straight home. At one point or another, we probably stopped for gas too. But aside from that, yeah. And it was a nice experience. And we got it. So the game ended around, afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock, whatever that was. We had dinner. That took us, probably a couple hours because it was a busy place and it was right after the game. And it was really good too. And hung around, talked. Nice views to be able to look out the windows. I remember that. You could see the water and the bridge and everything. And then we drove back. And by the time we got home, another 3, 4 hour drive home, it was kind of like, so it was just a 1 day road trip with me and the guys to be able to go down there. Had a really nice time. As regards to the game itself, they were playing the Cincinnati Reds were playing the Minnesota Twins, and the first couple innings, no score, um, and their pitcher, his name was Hunter Green for the Cincinnati Reds, was doing really good. Eventually, Cincinnati did knock in a run in the third inning. All right, cool. We got to see a run. And then in the fourth inning, they added another run. All right, cool. We got to see now 2 runs. And that was it going into the seventh. It was 2-0 going into the seventh. Low scoring game. Like I said, that one pitcher for Cincinnati was doing great. In the top of the seventh, Minnesota did score a run to finally get on the board, break the shutout. But then Cincinnati was able to knock in another run to make it 3-1 in the bottom of the seventh to maintain their two-run lead. And then going into the eighth inning, Minnesota had scored another run to cut it to 3-2, and it's like, all right, Cincinnati's uh, got still a lead, but eventually they pulled their starting pitcher Hunter Green, and the bullpen just lost the game for him. So, like I said, a run in the eighth, which I think he got pulled by the eighth inning. And then in the ninth inning, they scored 3 more runs to win 5-3. The final score, Minnesota beat Cincinnati. Now here's the kicker. Like I said, their starting pitcher Hunter Green was doing great that day. When I said great, he had like a record for himself and maybe even Cincinnati in general, and the most I'd ever seen live in person. 14 strikeouts this man had in this game. He had 14 strikeouts and I want to say held them to at the most 2 runs. I can't remember if he got pulled in the what inning he got pulled in, but he was not responsible for the loss. That was all on the bullpen. And I remember thinking, I'm not a Reds fan. I was a Reds fan for a day, and so to go away and they lost was kind of disappointing in that way, But I was laughing at it in a way, not scornfully, but just like how do you give up? How do you lose that? You had 14 strikeouts, and then I thought if I was a Reds fan, not just for a day in my hobby, but if I was literally a Reds fan, like I am a Tigers fan, emotionally invested in the team, want to see him win, want to see him reach a World Series, win a title, all that stuff. If I was a true Reds fan and I saw that my starting pitcher had 14 strikeouts in a game with the lead, and then the bullpen blows the game and they still lose, I would be furious about that. I would be absolutely furious. And of course the Reds fans, not that it was like a packed house that day, but the Reds fans that were there kind of it just you kind of had this um, feeling of like, ah, here we go again kind of thing, that like the Reds were disappointing them. And I wouldn't blame them for that. I was surprised and kind of I didn't know how to feel about it. I mean, it was bummer for them, since I was rooting for them for a day, but kind of fun. Like, how do you blow? Not that they blew a big lead. I mean, the lead was 3-1, but just the fact that your starting pitcher had 14 strikeouts and you still lose the game, that's insane to me. Again, I would be obviously it's not impossible, but yeah, if I was a Reds fan, I would be livid about that. Thankfully, I'm not, and I'm sure the Tigers at some point has done something similar in their life, I've been annoyed by it. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure at some point they blew a lead or had some good pitching game. They still didn't win, whatever. But in this particular case for the Cincinnati Reds, uh, yeah, poor fans that had to see their starting pitcher get 14 strikeouts and still lose the game. Yeah, so that was the game. As regards to the stadium itself, Great American Ballpark, definitely a nice stadium. I think Cincinnati Reds. I don't know if I consider them. I don't know what I consider them. I mean, they're not the Yankees. They're not the Dodgers. They don't have that type of cachet behind them. But they're not, the Miami Marlins or some newer team that doesn't. I say that Miami in my lifetime has won a couple World Series, but they're not at the bottom of the barrel either. I'm sure they have their up and down years, but I feel like they've been around a while. They're well known. I think they did win something. When did they win something? Maybe I'd have to look it up. It's been a while, but I remember as like a kid, and I forgot who the players were, but they may have made some noise back then. But they are someone that has been around a while, good enough, and long enough, anyways. Well enough known, perhaps I guess you could say. And Great American Ballpark is where they play. So yeah, definitely. I thought that was it was a nice place. A little bit on the older side, but not like so much where you feel like you're in a dump or anything like that. It's just a little bit more historic. Historic. I don't know. Just got that character for being around for maybe a little bit. Try looking up the capacity of it. It looks like it holds around 42 to 43,000. And then what I saw is attendance 22,306. Okay, I mean maybe. So that's about half. As I looked around, I don't know if I'd say it was half. I feel like there was a lot of empty seats. Not quite sure if half of them were there. Again, this was like a Wednesday afternoon during the week kind of game. Um, I'm sure at times they maybe during the nights or weekends that they might get a little more full. Playoffs, obviously, they definitely would. I could see the Reds fans showing up for them, but that day it wasn't a ton, decent amount. I mean, so I don't know. Maybe it hit half full, but not that I can recall seeing. But they had like I said, at the outside, I thought it was real nice. That area that we took pictures in, nice big scoreboard uh, on the outfield, which most most ballparks do have that, and a nice place to go catch a game, especially if it's a bucket list thing like I like to do. Which mine is a hobby, not necessarily a bucket list. I just don't want to try to see them all. Just some miscellaneous things about them. I remember years ago when I was working at Delta and I was on the ramp, working with a guy, and somehow it got brought up that this was my hobby. And he said that he went and saw the Cincinnati Reds. And he's like, you got to go see Great American Ballpark. You got to go see them. Like, okay, I'll go see them in time, eventually. Years later, I finally went and saw it. Now, the way he built it up, like it was the best stadium in the world. I won't go that far. um, because I definitely think college football stadiums can hold the top when it comes to that. Even for baseball, that was nice. I don't know if I'd give it the best, but it could be up there, I suppose. When I was going there, I don't even remember the guy's name. I couldn't even pick him out of a lineup, to be honest with you. So long ago, I just worked with him once, so he could deliver pizza to me, and I wouldn't even recognize him. Um, but yeah, I just remember his words. He was just hyping it up like it was the best stadium out there. So I was thinking of him when we were going there. And then they have this little mascot, is a guy with a Reds jersey on. It's like a big baseball as a head. He's got a Cincinnati Reds hat on. It's kind of cute. He was in our area a little bit. We got to see him, and somebody went and like talked to him or got a baseball from him or something. I don't know, but anyways, they have a little mascot with that. That's their. I don't even know his name. I'm sure he's got a name. I don't know what his name is. Um, and then as regards Great American Ballpark, I actually don't mind that name, and it is an insurance company apparently. Um, I guess I could have talked about this with the stadium aspect, not necessarily the miscellaneous, but well, whatever. Anyways, the Great American Ballpark, I thought is a cool name because it sounds very nostalgic of baseball. Because to me, baseball, I mean, it was always mentioned baseball is America's pastime, and it's during the summer where it kind of has it on its own in a way. There's baseball is not. I mean, they have it maybe during the spring and during the fall, but during that summertime, they have it all by themselves. They're not sharing with football, hockey, or basketball during a certain point. They got it all to themselves. And when you go back many years, I think of like the Sandlot. Just you go back many years, and it's America's pastime. I don't think that baseball uh, has that same love and affection from everybody as it used to. I think football is the number one uh, sport in this country now, in all honesty. Um, but anyways, but many years ago it did. It was the main sport, and I don't know why, but a Great American Ballpark just makes me think of that, even though it's an insurance company. And I've mentioned, if you've listened to other podcasts, when it comes to these naming rights of these stadiums, and they bounce around from different names, and it goes from like one financial company to another financial company to an insurance company or something like that. Some you don't even know of, you never heard of, it's only to that area. And just so meaningless to me. But this one I don't mind. For whatever reason, it reminds me of um, just the past, and how baseball was the top sport in the country years ago. Maybe Great American, that just has that ring to it to me. Um, Not that I even have any remotely idea of the insurance company, how good they are or anything. I don't use them, but apparently they're an insurance company. But in my mind, when I hear Great American Ballpark, I just think of like a ballpark from many years ago, uh, historical kind of thing, and that's what I think of. So I actually don't mind the name of it too much. And if this is something that you would like to go see yourself and go experience a nice Cincinnati Reds game like I got to do it, I would be more than happy to help you with that. And you can reach out to me again in a couple different ways. One way, again, if you'd like to reach out to me through social media and send me a message, you can. Uh, Jay's Paradise Travels is my handle for both Facebook and Instagram. JAYS, there's no apostrophe in there, make it easier for you. JAYS, Jay's Paradise Travels. Again, you can send me a message and we can figure something out that way. Or you can send me an email if social media is not your thing. You can email me at j.paradise.travels@gmail.com. jay.paradise.travels@gmail.com. Also, if you were to check the description below, if you're watching this on YouTube, uh, you'll see a link to my website where you can reach out to me there. I have an appointment calendar thing with Calendly. You can make an appointment with me as well. There's multiple ways to be able to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help you to go to see a Reds game, to go see any other game, or if you want to go on vacation, like a cruise or something like that, which is my specialty. I would be more than happy to help you with that. And if you like this video, please like it on the channel, and subscribe to the channel. Um, Share it with other people. Try to get my name out there to as many as people as I can. I'd like to be your travel agent, your friends and family travel agent. Help make this world a happier place, one vacation at a time. So please do all those things that podcasters need to have done in order to keep their podcast going, and myself trying to run a business here. So appreciate that if you can. I hope you did like this video. I hope you learned something from it, took something away from it, and I would be more than happy to help you if you need it. So thanks again for listening, and I will talk to you guys again later. Take care. Bye-bye.